Hello there. No. Welcome back to Marvel Monday, which they were talking about Spider-Man Unlimited. Alright, so after the cancellation of Spider-Man the Animated Series, Fox Kids canceled it, but they weren't done. Marvel wanted to do a continuation, but it didn't really get off the ground. They also wanted to do a version of Marvel's Amazing Spider-Man, but that was nixed. And then they came up with an idea of a counter-Earth, like a alternate Earth version of Spider-Man would meet a world where there's Uncle Ben is still there. But they didn't want to do any alternate Spider-Man stuff, which they already did. But so we got this. Spider-Man going to counter-Earth to save John Jameson. Yes. So the story is here that Spider-Man. So they're going to launch another spaceship with John Jameson as the pilot. During which Venom and Carnage attack the shuttle. Because they are launching the shuttle so that John Jameson can go to counter Earth. This other Earth that they found and investigate. Well, Venom and Carnage go in, show up, and supposedly it fails because supposedly John Jameson dies. So Spider-Man is held as a public enemy, especially by JJ. And okay, so they discovered that there's another version that looks almost identical to Earth with some changes. They're going to send John Jameson over there to look at it. The first problem, okay? You find a planet that looks just like Earth. You don't think there's going to be people over there that are going to freak out when someone else shows up? Right? If you're not expecting hostility, then you're stupid. I'm just saying. So like I said, they send the shuttle up, but Venom and Carnage also try to hitch a ride because they sent something on the planet, which later we find out is the Synoptic. Deep underground in the planet there is like a big symbiotic thing. So they hitch a ride, and supposedly John Jameson meets his death. That's what people on Earth and JJ, that's what they see. That's what they believe happened. Well, now Spider-Man can't be Spider-Man anymore. He can't save a cat from a tree. Nothing. He saves this lady from a fire, and the firemen attack him. But then he saves the firemen and supposedly dies. It looks like he dies, and he decides, okay, I'm dead. Only for him to get a new suit, a nanotech suit, which he says he got the attack from Reed Richards. Let's take that name back. And and as he's trying to steal another shuttle to get to counter Earth, he's stopped by Nick Fury. Let's take that one back. But it's the white Nick Fury with the hair, when he doesn't have the white sideburns like he did in the other version. Also, Mary Jane is also here, and voiced by Jennifer Hale, which is weird because Jennifer Hale voiced Felicia Hardy, I believe. Yeah, so Felicia Hardy played Cat in Spider-Man the Animated Series. So she's now Mary Jane, and then later she also plays one of the High Evolutionaries, Bestials. Yeah. So he takes a ride over to counter Earth, and that's where he finds the Bestials. There is Tiger, a rat lady who's not really a rat, Sir Ram, a couple other ones that I can't think of. But yeah, and they work for the High Evolutionary, which I thought was an original character. Apparently he's from the comics. I was excited when they said he was coming to Guardians of the Galaxy, although I was less when he was just another one-off villain that I thought could have been more. I think they did him justice. Woody, how do you pronounce his name? Sorry, did a very good job. Of course, I did roll my eyes when they showed him he was going to be African American. I'm like, really? Because to me, and maybe I don't know, but I just, it's nothing racist or anything. It's just that the High Evolutionary here, old white dude with a beard. That's why I was like, wait a minute. No, I don't know what he looks like in the comic book. He's like orange or something. And I don't know what he looks like in the comic book, but I don't know. When I think of Evolutionary, I think old dude with a beard. Old white dude with a beard. That's what I think. But hey, he knocked it out of the park. He was good. That was the dark storyline in that movie. But he basically does the same thing. He's only in there, Counter-Earth was created by him. The whole entire planet was created by him. Here, it's insinuated the planet was there, and he just showed up and started doing his experiments. So, yeah, and his bestials. There are alternate versions of characters that we know. Well, there's a newspaper editor who's not JJ, and there's really nothing to write home about. There is Kyoko and her son Shane, who are they're not versions of anyone, but a lot of people say, "Oh, she's like Mary Jane." He even calls her Mary Jane, but to me, this feels more like Aunt May. And I know it's weird because she's not as old as Aunt May, but like he lives with her. She's asked for rent, when she asks for rent, I go, "You give me rent? You give me rent?" So, yeah, she said, "You have the rent," and I went, "You give me rent?" But yeah, I think it's Kyoko or Hyoko, something like that. So there is alternate versions. So we only get like 3 of the main villains have alternate versions. There's the Green Goblin, or Goblin, also known as Hector Jones, who is Gyoko's husband, who went missing because he was one of the radical guys fighting against the Bestial and the Overlord, the High Evolutionary. But like it's made like it's supposed to be left up to imagination if it's him or not. Wikipedia straight up says he's Hector Jones. So yeah, and he's a good guy here. Same thing with the Vulture, whose name we do not know, but he's voiced by Brian Drummond, the original voice of Vegeta. So, yeah. Of course, Venom and Carnage are here. I mentioned them because they look different. Venom looks okay. He looks very similar to what he was in the other one. Carnage, on the other hand, has like bone spikes popping out of them, and they both go into goo form, so you think, oh, there's nothing human left in them, but then later it is shown in a pretty good episode where Eddie Brock is separated from the symbiote. And Eddie Brock wants to stay Eddie Brock, but in order to save Yoko and Shane, he has to become Venom again, And I also say that he won't be able to survive without it, which wasn't that a thing in the when Venom Returns, whatever it's called? Wasn't that a thing, or maybe I'm thinking of this? I don't know. They also have John Jameson transforming into a werewolf, which I do believe was in the comics, but here they say it's because he was experimented on by the High Evolutionary. There's an alternate version of Electro, which Spider-Man calls out Electro. Now, I know he fought a version of Electro in the other series, but it didn't look like this. He's like an electric eel thing. And there are bestials that look like Rhino and like a rhino and an octopus, but they're not, but yeah, yeah. There's also the Resistance, led by Karen and John Jameson, and there's this guy named Bronley, He has blonde ponytail and he's cool. He's got a long brown jacket. Pretty cool. And there's a dude who is basically just like mummy rapping dude. He's pretty cool. He's got like spiky hair. I don't remember his name, but he's pretty cool. Yeah, and then there's also, so here the High Evolutionary has his bestials, but also robot sentinel things. One of them is X-51. But to make a big deal about, it's the 51st to come up the Ascending Line. He's so old. If you wanted to do that plot line where he is so old, why not be X1, like the first one to come off the assembly line, right? But no, and he becomes actually good and joins the Resistance too. But yeah, there are several episodes in here that deal with, like, there's an overarching plot of the Resistance trying to take down High Evolutionary, but there's also other plots like a rogue guy, a rogue vigilante, I guess, takes this bomb that's gonna release this thing to take out bestials and humans, so they gotta stop that. There's the X-51 thing. Yoko gets kidnapped, and so the Spider-Man has to team with the Goblin to find her. You know, Shane helps a little bit too, but he's a little kid, so. I mean, is it Hiyoko? Hiyoko, not Kyoko. Hiyoko, I think. Hiyoko something Jones. Yeah, okay, so yeah, here's the big thing people are mostly going to point out when they do video on this. John Jameson is an idiot. So, John Jameson meets Spider-Man and he kind of bashes Peter Parker. And then Peter Parker is also there because he's Spider-Man. He gets a job for a newspaper like before, and he's putting pictures in the paper. Not once is there a scene where John Jameson finds a paper and says, Peter Parker. You know, he never has an encounter with Peter Parker. Like, he never knows that Peter Parker is on Counter-Earth. He never sees the newspaper. Apparently doesn't read the newspaper. So, it's called the Daily Bite, by the way. So, yeah, a little bit of an issue. They have to make him dumb, or they have to make him ignorant, because if they didn't, he would figure it out. Which I don't think it would be a bad thing. I don't think it would be a bad thing for John Jameson, you know, to figure it out. Like, his dad's the one that's always hounding both of them, and he's like, oh, I have mutual respect, you know. I'm just saying. Yeah. The animation, I'll talk about the animation for a minute. The animation looks real good. They have comic book transitions, make more like the comic book. The animation is a little more, it's not the same as the animated series. I want to say it's kind of like Avengers United We Stand, which will come out before this, I think, but it's also a little more different, kind of bolder a little bit. It's all, you know, traditional hand-drawn, hand-cell animation instead of computer stuff, so it works. And then they have the comic book stuff, and they'll tell you this location, this time, so that, and yeah, it's all pretty cool. The music in this, they do play the theme at the beginning of in the first episode. They do play it, but then you got that Spider-Man, you know. I get confused with one of the generic themes on WWE 2K, but yeah, it's bam 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 Spider-Man. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's different. I grew up liking this. Never disliked it. I always liked it. Thought it was good. It's still good. I think it's still one of the better written animated shows out there, and it's well done. It's not as good as the Amazing Spider-Man, or not as good as Spider-Man the Animated Series, but, you know, it may be a little bit above another one we're going to talk about in 2 weeks' time. which is Spider-Man, the new animated series. And that's it for Spider-Man in this. I don't do too much. I actually did think about doing Spider-Man 2.1, but I'm just like, or 2.5, whatever it is, 2.1. I was like, nah, unlike the road cut, I mean, the road cut didn't have much difference either, but unlike the road cut, there's really just deleted scenes are added, and that's it. Or that one had a different plot point in it, and that, But yeah, I do think that Spider-Man Unlimited is a fun series. You check it out. It's on Disney Plus. Go ahead, check it out. It's fun to watch. So, what are your thoughts on? Oh, the show ended on a cliffhanger, with them sort of defeating the hallucinatory, or at least stopping whatever plan he was doing, but then revealing that the synoptic was gonna release from underneath, and that was it. And I remember seeing that and going, oh, I can't wait to find out what happens. And then I never found out what happened, because that was it. Only one season, man. Come on, Fox Kids. They cancel it. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Unlimited? Let me know in the comments. Let me share, like, share, and subscribe. I also want to know more about the synoptic. I just kept talking about it. It's never really... I don't know. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. So I gotta call out a moment from the episode where they first show the synoptic. It's this big green thing. And Hector, or Goblin, goes, Booger at 12 o'clock! Rino Romano did both voices, by the way. And his Hector voice is very much Eduardo from the Extreme Ghostbusters. So, come on, man. We're scientists. Yeah. But yeah, again, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Unlimited? Leave comments, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. Booger at 12 o'clock.